In this video, I'm gonna show you everything you need to unlock Ajax as efficiently as fast as possible. What's up, Descendants, Bob here, and this is my guide to unlock Ajax. If you wanna see more videos for the first Descendant, please leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Also, if you guys wanna support me, I'm gonna leave my Nexon creator code in the video description. Now, before we get started on how to unlock Ajax, there's gonna be some things that we need to be able to unlock him. First, let's talk about the Descendants that are required. Firstly, we're gonna need to have Sharon unlocked. The reason is because we're gonna need her to be able to do the stealth infiltration on the outposts. Next, we're gonna need an electric Descendant, and this can be done with Sharon, or it can be done with Ultimate Bunny, or regular Bunny. Next, we're gonna need a chill Descendant, and for that we're gonna use Viesa. And lastly, we're gonna use a fire Descendant. This can either be done with Lepic, Blair, or Esimo. I highly recommend that you use Blair because he's super easy to acquire, probably the easiest Descendant to get, right after Lepic. Lepic is one of the starting Descendants, but not everybody picked him, so if you didn't, then Blair is the second best option. Now, we're also going to need to have a build to be able to defeat a Void Intercept in hard difficulty, and I highly recommend that you use this build that I have right here. It's very easy to make. You can use regular Glade, you do not need to use Ultimate Glade. Here are the Descendant modules that I'm using. If you want to take a picture, you can remove some of these Descendant modules just to make it a little bit easier to craft. Maybe even this one. And it shouldn't be too hard to make this build. With those modules right there, you can make this build happen. We're also going to need a ad clearing weapon. Thunder Cage is pretty good, very easy to acquire. I already have a guide on how to get this weapon on my channel. And these are the modules, and if you just got started crafting the Thunder Cage, you can get started with an easy build, kind of like this. That should get you started, and that right there is already a very nice weapon. Lastly, we're gonna use a vestigial organ for the Void Intercept that we're gonna be fighting. This weapon is very easy to acquire. And these are the Descendant modules that we're going to be using. And if you don't want to use a mushroom, you can just use those modules right there, and you should be good to go. And for this specific set, I'm using the Materializing Singularity Reactor. This is not going to help us for the power boost, but it's going to increase our skill cooldown or reduce our skill cooldown and increase our HP heal modifier. We're using the Annihilation set, the 4-piece. This is going to give us 26% more damage when our HP is at 50% or lower. You can use the Slayer set as well. It's up to you. I prefer the Annihilation set. With that being said, now let's get started on the requirements to unlock Ajax. First, we're going to talk about the blue materials. Then we're going to talk about the purple materials. And lastly, we're going to talk about the blueprints. For the blue materials, just click F if you're on PC. And it's going to tell you where to get each material. We're going to find them on these resource boxes. These resource boxes can be found by clicking tab on PC or the right stick on console. And just keep pinging the radar and you're going to see a little arrow pointing down. Head to those arrows, open the resource boxes, and just open as many needed until you get the 430 silicon, and then keep going with the rest of the materials. Every one of them is going to be in a different destination. Silicon is going to be on the Echo Swamp, Hellion on the Fortress, Ardenner on the Vespers, so on and so on. These are going to be very easy to acquire, and at maximum it should take you 30 minutes to get all of them. Next, we have the Artificial Biometal, and this one can be done very easily on the Anticipated Ambush Point mission in hard difficulty. This was a very famous farming spot for a long time, for like a week or two, and it's a very short mission. On the screen it says that it's going to take you 3 minutes or less. It's going to take you like 30 seconds to do every run. So in like 5 minutes you should have all the materials required. For the next one we have the Compound Carbon Activator. And for this one we're going to do the Mystery's End mission on the White Knight Gulch. Just keep doing the mission until you get to this room, kill the yellow bar enemy, and then get the material. Lastly, we have the Positive Ion Particles. This one can be done very easily on the Commanding Ground mission on hard difficulty. On the screen it says that it's going to take us 10 minutes or less, but it's gonna take you like 3 minutes every single run, and you're gonna get the materials required very fast. Now let's talk about the blueprints. For Ajax, we have the enhanced cells, stabilizer, spiral catalyst, and the code. For the enhanced cells, we're gonna use the amorphous material pattern 119. This one has a 32% chance to give us the enhanced cells. And to get it, we're gonna do the void fusion reactor on the frozen valley, which can be found on the fortress. This one has a 25% chance to give us the amorphous material pattern, and it can only be acquired with Sharon, which is why we need her for this guide. So we're gonna switch to Sharon. We're gonna do the outpost. Once you have the amorphous material pattern 119, head over here, switch to Viesa. Then we're gonna do the void fragment, get the materials required, head back over here, switch to Glay, and then we're gonna do the fusion reactor. Then head back over here, switch to Sharon, and we're gonna repeat the process until we have the enhanced cells. For the stabilizer, we're gonna use the amorphous material pattern 88. This one has a 32% chance to drop the pattern, and this one can be found on the Vermilion Waste. This one, you do not need to use Sharon, so you can use any other Descendant that you want. I was using Bunny to kill the enemies as fast as possible, and since you're already using an electric Descendant, after you get the amorphous material pattern 88, which actually has a 25% chance to drop, after you get it, head over here. We're gonna do the void fragment, get the materials required in a couple of runs, and once you do this void fusion reactor and open it for a chance to get the stabilizer. If you don't get it, just repeat the process. Now, the spiral catalyst is gonna take a little bit longer because it only has a 20% chance to drop with this amorphous material pattern, and it's the highest drop chance out of every amorphous material pattern, which is why we're using it. And this one can be found by killing the Dead Bride on hard difficulty. And to get the amorphous material pattern, we're gonna do the Forgottens in hard difficulty, which is on the sterile land. Okay, now I'm gonna show you real quick how to get the amorphous material pattern, or how to get started on getting them. We're gonna interact with this terminal, select hard difficulty. We're gonna do the Forgottens on the sterile land. Now here we have the amorphous material pattern 66. We want to change it every single time we do it to number 67. Remember to do this every single time, because this one is gonna be the one that gives us the spiral catalyst for Ajax. After you select it, just confirm, put your cursor on the amorphous material pattern, confirm that it's there, and start the infiltration in either private or public. After you get the amorphous material pattern, head back to Albion, and then we're gonna fight the Dead Bride. This fight with the setup that I gave you shouldn't be too bad. It should take you like a couple of minutes or 3 per run. And after you kill her, interact with the reconstructed device for a chance to get the spiral catalyst. And lastly, to get the code, we're gonna use the amorphous material pattern 75. This one has 20% chance to drop the code. And for this one, we're gonna do the Vespers Moonlight Lake reactor and the outpost. For this one, you're gonna need Sharon as well. We're gonna do the stealth infiltration, which also has a 25% chance to give us the amorphous material pattern. Now, unfortunately, for the materials required for the reactor, we're gonna have to get them on 2 different places. You cannot get the organic and polymer in the same place. So for the organic, we're gonna do this void fragment on the Dune base found on Hagios. And this one, on every clear, is gonna give us 17 organic void fragments, or shards. This one on the screen says that it's gonna take us 5 minutes or less. I promise that it's gonna take you a couple of minutes or even less per run. And for the polymer shards, we're gonna do the same void fragment that we did previously. This one can be found on the Frozen Valley and the Fortress. Per clear, we're gonna get 19 polymer void shards. So in a single run, you're gonna have more than enough for 1 fusion reactor. After you have all the materials required, then head back to Albion, and we're gonna speak with Anais. Talk with her, then search for Ajax. And here we're gonna craft all the materials required. These ones are gonna take 8 hours to craft per component. Craft all of them. After the 8 hours, then claim the research and then get started on crafting Ajax. It's gonna take 16 more hours to research. And after you're done, it's now finally yours for you to use. And that's all for this video, Descendants. If it was entertaining or useful, please leave a like, it really helps out. And if you guys want to see more videos for the first Descendant, subscribe to the channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Later.